I've got a feeling it could well be a long time before we get to step 65. So, may as well carefully store our little airplane. And get back to where we was. Okay. As best I remember, we were back here. Actually, it was 42. And we really got sidetracked, didn't we? But at least we got the folding wings on one of the aircraft, and one of the hangar doors will be left open, so now might be a really good time to talk about this, and may as well get it off my chest, as they say. Yeah, some of you noticed and actually commented on this, and that is that after all the work I went to yesterday of getting those little, parts all cleaned up and the burrs off them, and fiddling around and horsing around, and I glued them on the wrong way. Now, there's something you should know. Canada has a telephone system. I have more than one telephone in my house. When you saw that I was putting them on the wrong way, why didn't one of you phone me before I put the glue on? Now, see if I can find all these little parts that we nipped off. When was that, about 2 weeks ago? Now it looks like some parts we still got to clean the sprue off of. And other parts are so incredibly small. Remember our little propeller? Don't want to accidentally lose that. Okay, here we have H61. Now, that's this piece right here, H61. And on this piece there are, let me try and orientate it the same way as it is in the plan here. On this piece there are three places where I have to nip off sprue. Right here, where there's going to be the little flange that goes into the slot right here. Then there's a piece here, and there's a piece up here. Now really, only this piece do I have to clean off the surface after I nip it up, because it's going to be the only one that is exposed. This one right here that I'm holding on to right now. Well, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so this little V-shaped section right here is where the bottom of one of the boats is going to go. You can actually see right there the little notch where, let's see if I can turn it here so you can see it better. You can see the little notch there where the keel of the boat's going to go. And so naturally, I don't need to worry about cleaning this surface after I nip it off. Now this one here, so let me get this around here. Okay, here's that little flange that's going to go into the slot. So when I nip this piece of sprue that I'm touching now off, I don't need to worry about cleaning that up. Now, on the other hand, this piece right here, it will be visible. So I'll probably take my little file and my sanding stick, and I'll just clean that up. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is, don't waste a bunch of time cleaning up stuff that's going to be covered up. Now, I don't know if you can remember where those three places were, but the only one that I'm going to worry about is this one right here on the lower left. There's not very much to it when you see it sitting on the end of my finger, is there? Okay. H62. That's this one. Now if I quit playing around with my new lens, I might actually get some of these done. This one's kind of interesting. J6. It's got the sprue attached to it in 5 places. Right here, right here, 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 and here. Now when I was filing off some of the sprue on this piece here just a minute ago, I thought this was flashing. You notice on the edge here? See if I can turn it a little bit so that it casts a shadow so that you maybe can see it better. I don't know if that's better or not. Anyway, this edge right here that the point is touching, at first I thought that was flashing, but it's not. And if you're not careful, well, no, this end here, it doesn't have anything special on it, but this end does. So once again, a person has to be really careful. Well, as near as I can tell here, I've got everything nipped off and trimmed down and sanded, and we're ready to start gluing parts onto these things here. But because I want to have this painted a light gray and most of these parts a dark gray, we can't do any gluing until after we paint. Now as far as my little pieces here that I've nipped off, I know I could probably throw them out as I nip them off, but I kind of like to have a little collection going because it sort of gives me the feeling like I've accomplished something. However, there's something that we can do and related to yesterday's video, and that was I was kind of wondering, I just poked myself. Anyway, I was kind of wondering if I was to take a piece of photo etch, okay, like this one right here, I know you probably can't see it, but if I was to take something like this and CA glue it onto something else, like maybe this, and then put it in my ultrasonic cleaner, because let's say I decide that I've got it all greasy, and before I spray it I want to get any grease or anything off of it. Will the ultrasonic cleaner dissolve the CA glue? And that's sort of an easy test, because this part right here is when we decided we're not going to use it, and this is one of those cross members for the I hope my camera's in focus so that you can see this thing. One of those cross members that goes between the floats on the aircraft that we decided we're not going to use. So I'm going to do that experiment this afternoon. I think I've got time yet, and I think it'd be kind of interesting to me anyway. I realize that all these little side trips, it just means that it's going to be that much longer it's going to take to get this particular model done. But I was thinking the other day, it doesn't really matter if I finish it or not, as I'm just sort of putting in time here, you might say. Anyway, I know that sounds kind of negative, but that's the way it is. When you get up to around 73, you're just sort of putting in time. At least I am. Anyway, let's put on the macro lens here and CA this thing to a part of this, and then put it in the ultrasonic bath. Now you can see here that I've taped this down, and my thinking was so that when I start working around with this thing, it's not going to be sliding around on this slippery piece of glass. Then afterwards I thought, why don't I take 4 of these segments, like in other words, nip this right here, and then make a square box out of it, and then where this edge here ends up being fastened to this edge, I'll just CA it, similar to the kind of joint we did yesterday, and then we'll take this little piece here and fasten it somewhere. It could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. The experiment is to see does the CA glue dissolve in the ultrasonic. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do it on this piece of glass because this glass is much thinner than ordinary window glass, probably not even half as thick. It's out of a picture frame from the dollar store for $1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on my plexiglass right now. I would have thought that would have been a lot easier, but well, maybe I'm going to have to do it another way. I'll just, I'm sure that I've indented it pretty good there. I'll just bend it back and forth, and if I did half of it, see if that would work. I think I got through. Yeah, it's through. Okay, my little box is not perfectly square here. And you can see that there's more of a gap at one side of it than the other. And the idea of the tape, I guess you picked up on that, is just to keep it from moving around, because I'll probably be trying to touch this with the needle, and the needle's probably going to stick to it. So this is going to, yeah. Oh, just a point of interest here. Our CA glue from yesterday appears to be still liquidy. That's interesting. It's probably kind of thick, though. Maybe I should use some fresh stuff. I did get, whoops, I moved it. I did get fresh CA glue here. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now we'll let that cure. Okay, it looks like it's cured to me. I'll just touch it with the point of a toothpick here and see if I get any. Yeah, that's cured. Okay, now let's put the other piece on. Okay, my thinking is so that this will lay better on the top of this thing here, if I can get a hold of it. Get my different tweezers here. Here's something like that. Yeah, that should be alright. And then see if I can put a little bit of CA on each one of those intersections. I might straighten this up just a little bit. Okay, let's see if it's possible to hold this down. Once again, at this moment, you're seeing it a lot better than I am. Now, I would think at least 3 of those 4 intersections will adhere, possibly all 4. Okay. Let's leave that for a few minutes. Now what's happening here is I'm holding onto one side of the glass and I'm moving it up and down to bring the subject in and out of focus. And I know this is not the best way to do it, but I'm in a bit of a hurry here and I'm running out of time. In fact, right now I'm realizing that I'm going to have to, do the ultrasonic test itself in the next episode. That'll give the CA glue a chance to, completely cure. And as you can see here, all 4 of the contacts have glued really well. So that's good. Yeah, in the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.